Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. You are pure silence always. Never ever identify yourself with chattering mind, with incessant planning going on in mind, with past stories of mind and future projections. It looks like continuity of your own life, all these thoughts. In reality, all of us are same. All of us are pure awareness, which cannot speak. It is just be, always the same. In this pure awareness, due to projection of mind, we see this world not different from the dream world. Except the dream world comes and goes. But this looks like perpetual, staying all the time. So it looks real to us. But it also breaks in between every night in deep sleep. There is no word, there is no mind. But then we are not there to acknowledge it. There is still a veil of ignorance in that deep sleep, which is called as Anandamaya Kosha, sheath of bliss. In waking state right now, we are the same without mind, without body, pure awareness, unchanging reality. Put your attention to this awareness, what you are. Try to listen to it. Valerie has asked a question. Is it possible I am going to be lost between realities until I die? Between realities? There is only one reality. And the one who is going to be lost is actually not lost. If the one who is asking if I am going to be lost, then there is no problem left. The one who thinks he is lost is actually not completely lost. If that disappears, then only thing which is there is only reality. Even now, you are not lost. If you talk from your mind, mind can say anything. But if you talk from your silence, then you are always that eternal, that undifferentiated self, Brahman, that godly self. There is only one self. If you see, this is only a case of mistaken identity. All the mind chatter, what you hear in your head, you think you are that. If you don't identify with that, then what needs to be done? Then what is the issue? All our life we think we are this mind. And people can argue that this mind has given them a lot of stuff. And they don't know how to act without mind. They are slave of the mind. But that is also okay, that you are dependent on mind. But problem is that we think we are mind. Not just using it, but we think we are. We are thinking and then we are acting on those thoughts all the time. We don't stop at all. We don't allow or give that power a chance to show that things are manifesting on its own. We take the credit of everything or even discredit of everything. We act too fast. We don't just sit back and relax and watch the show. We jump and become a doer, an actor on stage, and then get in this trouble. If we keep our mouth shut, which means not owning any thought, and just watch. In no time, you will be released from this bondage of mind. But we all have this compulsion to act. Doesn't matter good or bad. And I'm not talking about your work related action. All the time, unemployed or more busy. All the time, mind keeps ticking. I need to do this, I need to do this, I have to do this. Lot of psychological thoughts, all sorts of thoughts. And we own all of them and we keep acting on them like a compulsion, like some power in us is pushing us to do this and that. And that another problem is the whole society believes that we have to do something all the time. After this COVID, there is a new trend in the world to sit back, to do things, but have gaps, pauses. And these people who have a lot of Rajasic mindset, who wants to do action all the time, doership, they are calling these people as lazy. So this is what our society is also. If someone is pausing, trying to be in that stillness, we think it's not right. Because we think from our mind, and our mind says, keep acting, keep doing something. And we think it's a virtue. Sometimes people come and tell me that I never sit still, I always do something. That's why I'm so fit and healthy. But you can see they might be thinking they are fit and healthy, but they're such anxious personality. I can understand mind is very restless. But why do you obey it all the time? Margie, who is Margie? Is there is there's intuition, the voice that tells you to take a different turn to avoid an accident? Margie, what do you want to know from this? You have already said something in this message. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I wanted to know if we have intuition. Is that the self talking to us?
Can I see you? Hello.
Hello. Namaste.
Namaste.
So I understand the mind, Sanjay, and the chatter that goes on, but my question is there a side or a self that can talk to us and keep us out of danger? Maybe warn us about something that we should be aware of? Or is that, again, just the mind?
When you're saying that self can talk to us, it looks like there
Yes.
are two self, one self and one us, and that self is talking to us in form of intuition. And this
Okay.
is the thing, we have kept self as an object. Self is not an object. It's not like you are subject and then there is a self and then that self. Self means self. Count yourself as that self, not the mind. Whole problem is actually not a problem. Just understand with clarity that it is just an illusion, that we have ownership of body, mind, and we act through it all our life and we don't know anything else. And then we die or the body dies. But if you move inward and look within, you will notice that there is a source through which everything is a projection. This body, mind, word, everything. That is self. And that is you. And you will never find it as an object. It is always there. What you talk about intuitiveness, yes, that comes from there. You know, so many times there is, people call it gut feeling or the first response in a way, and we think it's right. And then the mind comes and the intellect comes and says, no, I should not do like this. It will cause suffering to me. I will lose money. You know, what people will say. And with our conditioning, sometimes it leads to a completely different decision, exactly opposite to what that intuitiveness is telling us. And sometimes we follow that if we have time. But as you pointed out, if there is a sudden tragedy or an accident, then that intuitiveness saves us, because it does not give a chance for mind to think and then act and take something else, and it saves you in a way. So yes.
Thank you.
Albert Einstein, he said the same thing, if you might have heard. He said that the whole world respects and appreciates mind, which is our slave, but does not give credit to that intuitive awareness, which is that godly principle, which is the source, which actually give rise to the mind, ego, word, everything. That is source. Buck stops there, because nobody looks there. We look into the product and we think we are the product. Yes, so when we don't cooperate with mind, in a sense that we are not engaging in any thought, you realize that this power, this inherent power, is actually running the show. This middleman, which is holding this mind body, thinks he is running the show. So the whole problem is misidentification. If you see, example given is that it's a snake and rope story. We think we are ego, but actually we are that self. There is no ego, it is only self, which right now pretends to be ego. Just like a rope which you think is snake, But when you realize it is rope, when the darkness has vanished, there is no ignorance. You know this is rope. So where is that snake gone? Snake was never there. Ego is never there. We think we are conditioned by society. We have been given a name. We think it's a form, and everyone calls by that name. And we think we are this body. And then we hear these voices, and we think these voices are guiding us. Though this voice, this mind is coming from that same source, but it is conditioned by our learning, our culture, our society, and mostly by our own desires, attachments, fear. But we are always that source from which it is all projecting. It is like a hologram. It's a projection. This body and the whole world. If you stay as what you are, stay as that robe, stay as that self. We are not two, we are always one. Some people put non-duality as some sort of a method or a religion, or I don't know. They divide, even in Hinduism, they call non-duality, duality, Vishishtadvaita. It is only your real experience, that's all. It does not belong to any religion. It is not a religion. It is the ultimate truth which you know. Wherever you come from, no one can own it. No society, no religion, no country. It is anyone who looks within will find the same truth. And it is not a concept. It is not a belief. It is reality. Everyone can find it if you start looking within. Only thing needed is your interest. If you are more interested in this pure awareness rather than mind and this word rises together and disappears together. There will be no word which will bother you if there is no thought. Experience yourself. If no thought is there, then what to bother? All suffering comes in form of thoughts, feelings, emotions. All are at domain of mind only. Awareness has no clue about this suffering. Awareness does not claim anything. Remember, all identification with which we live, our biodata, our CV, resume, is resume of this body mind. If you live in this body, Use this mind, live in the word, but knowing that you are not part of this word. Knowing, not intellectual knowing, but reality, always abiding in reality, as reality. Then this word cannot bite you. My wife, my kids, my job, this my has to go. If my stays, then suffering stays. And you don't have to go out and tell people that I have no mind or nothing belongs to me. Everything can just stay as it is. It's just part. Because all these relationships are of the body. And everything is like a transient movie. This body, other bodies. Right now we are all talking here. What will happen after 100 years? None of these bodies will be there. Some other bodies will be there. What will happen to all these bodies which we are there? Will be dust. What can we be proud of? Faculties which sometimes we feel we have, which has given us all this, are dwindling, disappearing, decaying. One day everything will finish. This body, other bodies, whole world. Keep your attention on that eternal which is outside this dream world. So when death comes to the body, you can watch it and you can see there is no death. But this will not happen at the time of death unless you have already realized the truth right now. But if your identification is with body, then this matter is of fear of death. Because if this is what you are, one day you will lose it. And we don't want to lose anything. And we don't have support to say we are anything else. Then who wants to lose what they think they are? Nobody. That fear of death is so natural. And if we think we are this body, then all the time we will be looking to protect this body, and that is ego. Acquiring things, beings, making more comfortable life for this body. Because we have no clue about that we are that awareness beyond this world which is changing. And everything what we see is only projection of mind. Find the truth within and be free. So death affects what? Death only affects ego. If ego is not there, death cannot touch you. Ego is that identity in us which thinks I am this body mind. Yes, that ego is at loss when the body dies. It loses that body. It is made up of all these sheaths. One sheath is body, which is dead, but others are still there. But if living in this body you realize the truth, that you are this pure awareness, so the ego disappears. No individual, no person. Death is not complete death. It leaves the ego, and ego takes another form. But a sage, a realized person, has done more surgical operation than what death can do. He has killed ego, which even death cannot kill. If death could kill ego, then it is very easy. Simple job. Keep doing what you are doing. And one day death will surely come to your door and it will do the job. But it cannot do that job. You have to do that job. And so comes all these spiritual seekers. From some power of grace, we all start looking within to know the truth. And I'll tell you, that is the first and last step. If you are interested in that, it will reveal you your true nature, your true self. It is not hiding it from anyone. It appears as if it is hiding. But nobody is interested in it. So you don't know. If you see, the paradox is that what we see is unreal. And what is reality, we cannot see. To see that reality, you have to, only one thing needed is your interest in it. If you are interested, you will see it. So any realized being, when he talks from there, people get interested, and sometimes they can have darshan, vision. But it looks like he has entered in a city where everyone is blind. Only he has those eyes. And he's talking about something which he's trying to convey. And the instrument which he has been given to convey is also not capable of conveying it, which is a speech. He borrows a speech from the domain of mind, which is part of that dream, and tries to convey which is nothing to do with that dream. So he picks up some analogy from the word around, that it looks like this, it looks like that. But it is not anything like that. It is like 5 blind people trying to explain an elephant, and they are on different parts of an elephant. One is towards the trunk, one tusk, one ear, one leg, and they all are describing the same. Another problem in this whole game of spirituality is nobody else can do it for you. Another thing, you have to do it with whatever mind, whatever gadgets you have. You can't borrow from others. If you have spoiled your mind, your choice. You can't exchange a new mind. You have to fix this mind only. So if you have gone too far from truth, you have to travel same steps back. But it is your intensity which will help you the most. Intense longing can take that journey, can finish that journey very quick. So people who look very good people, who have never done anything wrong, maybe they might take years and years, and a one who has done all sorts of wrong stuff, suddenly there is intense longing. He might finish very quick, who knows? It is all about your disinterest, vairagya, dispassion in this word, an interest in that. Sometimes it happens like that only. People whose life is miserable, they don't want to be in that. They just go within so quickly. If everything is good, you still want to continue that. So the ego survives. So wherever we are, our journey starts there only. Role of any teaching, role of any teacher is only to encourage you and to have that darshan, have those glimpses in between of that pure silence, that peace. This is the importance of satsang, or the group of beings who gather together, who wants to be that. That means there is so much of good intention in so many people to be that. And that is enough. You know, this is one of the reasons why when people go to a place of worship, they feel peace. Because everyone's intention there is to find peace. And so the peace starts living there. It's all about matter of your intention. It is independent of all external factors like your education, your knowledge about scriptures, your belief in God, belonging to any religion. Nothing matters. There are more questions or maybe saying, I don't know. Let me read this. Vishali, uh, I don't know where this starts. It says, but there is so much attachment to body. I worry so much due to health issues. How to overcome? I try lot to stay in awareness, but the attachment to this body is so intense. Vishali, can you come over?
So just a second, it's midnight, so let me switch on the light. No. So,
Hello.
Namaste.
Attachment to body, yes, that's true. Attachment to body, anything happens to body, any disease, any health issues. That is what I was saying, that if death comes to the body and we think we are the body, we are losing everything. That is very natural to have fear if there is any health issue. Because we have not known anything else. We have put all our money on this body. Because we think I am this body. Now, how to break this attachment? Know the truth, that's all. And to know that truth, there is no other way but to look within. We call it within, but it is within and without, and it's the same. It is everything is that. Even this body is that. Even the projection of this mind, this ego, this everything comes from there. But saying that does not help anyone. It is just like a book knowledge. Understand this body has come into this form or whatever it's going through is because of the mind. Mind is the other sheath. Mind is bundle of thoughts. These thoughts in a way decides what we are doing, how we are acting, because we always think and act, and we have a lot of psychological thoughts, not just mere thinking about keeping one thing from this place to this place or driving a car. Those thoughts actually don't create any problem. It is the psychological thoughts, attachments to things, losing things, likes, dislikes, and not our likes and dislikes, others' likes and dislikes. Someone doesn't like us, it hurts us. Someone loves us, it creates different emotional. And all this affects the health of body also. But if you start watching, witnessing as things are unfolding, in your mind, these thoughts, give away ownership of all thoughts if you can do that. Let them come and go. Listen to your silence within. There is a silence in us which is always there. On that silence are these thoughts. If this is your body and you are the owner of the body, then where were you before it was born? Who was the owner? And can you keep it as anyone has kept this body? How does it matter if this body goes away? You will go, something will happen, but we can't trust that something that can take care of everything. This ego, which is individuality, thinks I am running the show, I have this body, and there are others. Leave aside any health issues or disease to the body. Can you still keep this body for more than 100 years? Is there any exception to the rule? Do you know anyone who is living for last 5,000 years in this body? Even if he calls him God or godly people or whatever, or powers in any part of the world. So you had control in coming into this body, or will you have control when you leave this body? Anything which has a beginning and end, without your control, how are you able to control in between? Because you think you are this. Because you have never ever looked beyond it. Not just you, but no one around us, most of the people. They act as individuals. You go to any part of the world, even religious people, so-called religious people, more groupism. Now, if you want to know who you are, you have to sit with yourself. And you are nothing. If you stop identifying with body, with thoughts, with emotions, with feelings, and staying as an uninvolved witness to things, it can be difficult initially. That old habit of identification will pull you. If someone says something, it will affect you. And your attachment to body also makes you attached to all the people around you. Your spouse, your kids, your friends. Anyone does anything which your ego doesn't like causes emotional issues. And carrying off all these emotional issues, mind becomes so stuffed, it starts reflecting on body in form of diseases. Anyway, disease, or as Bhagavan says, if I have to use Bhagavan's word, he says this body itself is a disease. And when it gets disease, it's disease over disease. Because if you are at ease, if mind has no intention, you will not get a body. You are pure awareness. Body has so many demands. It needs food, it needs shelter, it needs water, it needs oxygen. When a child is born, It cannot survive unless someone gives all that care. When we are at ease, we will never get the body again. And who are we? When our mind is restless, giving rise to thoughts, intentions, desires, and somehow we have to leave this body, it will take another body because it has to fulfill all those intentions or desires. So, anyone who is born in this world must have some intentions or desires which has led to the form. Otherwise, it would have never happened. Take your own personal life. You must have some desires, I'm pretty sure. Some are fulfilled, some are not fulfilled. But who are you? Ask this question intensely within. Who am I? Sow the seed of this question, go deep. If you really want to know that silence. In reality, we are not this body and we are not this mind. We are that eternal awareness which uses a body and mind to interact, to communicate, and to have this experience. When you are detached with any identification and stay as that awareness in this body, every moment is bliss. Because you are just watching a show and you know that. You are so impersonal about this body. Yes, Vishali?
So we keep on doing something or the other for the body, like just to keep it healthy. Because I know how I have some digestive issues, so how I have to keep it fit. So is it okay to keep on doing like yoga and if to eat millets, if this to keep it so that I am not in pain?
When you are saying, I am not in pain, that is the thing. Pick up that. If I ask you not do anything with body, then you will blame me that I'm dying soon, or I'm in pain. Do you think you will listen to me if I say you are not the body? I will not be in pain. You are still so much attachment to body. Keep doing what you're doing, but understand that you have to put some efforts to give up this identification. You are not saying body is not in pain. You're saying I am not in pain. So that is, you are quite right, Vishali. So there's a lot of attachment, not attachment, but identification with body. So you have to put some efforts. Just by mere telling you that don't do it will not help. You have to put your own efforts to know, to contemplate on truth.
So I've been doing this in so many months regular, but again and again, like my kids, sometimes I react and I go in guilt, knowing so much. Then because I think so deep down we have attachment with our kids. That is why we keep on telling them, don't do this every time. So how to overcome all these things? Like And that time we forget to stay in awareness. At that time, literally, attachment comes. I keep on saying to my children, don't do this. Why are you doing this? Right? I want to overcome all this. I want to be stay in awareness. I just want them to do whatever they. But still, after that, some tension comes. They've come through me. I have some responsibility to guide them.
This is work in progress. Keep working. That's what I can say. If it happens so quick, then it shows attachment to body, attachment to kids, attachment to things. All this is attachment, isn't it? So, from attachment to no attachment will take some time, but keep practicing whatever you believe in, whatever your practice is, keep doing it. And if that practice can make you as a witness to things receding, you will know that you will be much more calmer, less number of thoughts, more settled. Actually, I'll tell you, this is like something settled somewhere within. You can call it a spiritual heart or whatever. And then it establishes itself, something. This mind merges in that. Ego dissolves in that seeing. But you have to spend time in that purity where your mind can taste it, where the ego bows its head in shame. If we are so much entangled in people around us and this body, and attachment is the only root cause, there's nothing else. Attach from there or detach from there and attach here. Like your power plug is in this drama of the world. Pull it out and put it in. Put it in your heart. See the magic. You will be more loving to all your family members. You will be more compassionate. You will help your kids in a better way. And here there will be no attachment also. So many things which we teach kids is because of our attachment to them, rather than that's the right thing. They want to become something and we want them to become something else because we want it to be that. We project our own desires into them. And we have a set concept about life which we think is right, and then we give it to them. Maybe the way they want to lead might be better, who knows? Because of attachment only. Let's sit in that silence, all of us, and have gratitude. Be a devotee of that pure awareness within you. Allow it to merge you completely. So you realize your true self, pure awareness. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.